presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. Hey, John, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
I want to thank you, first of all, before I ask you about the stock. You and Tim Ward and all the gang at TFNN. I had a really, really good year after the October call you guys made. My 401k is up 72%.
Congratulations, man.
A couple of things I made with Coinbase and other stocks that I made, and I've had a good year.
And we appreciate you growling and prowling with us, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all are having a good day. I hope you guys were short. Man, what a massive move to the downside. Just today, you made an all-time high 2 days ago in the SPY at 613.23, and we're trading right at 600. Seems like it's finding some support there. Dipped briefly under to about 599. But yeah, you're off 1.69% today in the SPY. The composite off about 2.13%. Dow Jones Industrial off about 1.76 at 43,400, with those Russell futures trading off about 2.86%. DXY up 0.2 at 106.59. You got crude oil trading off about 3% at 70.29. Gold contract off 0.15% at 2,951. Copper off. Silver off. Everything off. Get some bonds going up a little bit. Celsius blowing to the top side on basically they're acquiring Alani Nu, just kind of like a more health conscious, I believe, energy drink. I've seen them in the stores. I don't really know anyone who drinks them at all, but hey, that's fine. Maybe there are people who do. But some pretty substantial movement to the upside. Trading right back about October levels in Celsius. So that's a nice bump up here. Yeah, I guess it's a $1.8 billion acquisition with Alani, which is kind of interesting. Anyways, let's keep moving here. You have Disney off. I mean, everything's just off. Tesla off 4.5% nearly. Yeah, I mean, the question is like, what? I don't know if there really is a clear catalyst for what's going on here. I've been seeing a lot of different people talk about things. Of course, you had Microsoft CEO earlier today talk about that there might be an overbuild of AI systems. This misses the milestones that current AI developers have been using to kind of pump the product. Okay, I mean, you know, it's funny he says that, right? Because he's still going to build these things out. There's no reduction in CapEx, it seems like. They did just permit for like 2 more builds, data center builds. That was like 3 days ago. I think kind of what he's saying essentially is like, we are going to build a lot. We're going to have a lot of excess at some certain point here. They're planning on renting out the compute. That's fine. He doesn't say that, you know, supply is necessarily outstripping demand there, but it was just a weird conversation. And then he goes and he talks about how great their quantum chip is. And it's like, geez, man, like, and again, I think they said something along the lines like, we could maybe do this in 4 years. Okay, like that's cool. It's just it was a very bizarre interview, honestly. You know, I don't know. Is that what's dumping this market? I mean, I think that was not that long ago. I mean, the market's been dumping since this morning, and you really had some movement to the downside today. Around noon, of course, you have a conversation as well around the Wuhan Virology Institute that there is a new coronavirus variant that's closer to MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, and obviously MERS was far more deadly. So I don't know. You're getting a lot of shakeout here. I haven't necessarily added anything right now. I don't believe this is the beginning of the end. I'm not sure anything materially has happened that is making people say, okay, hey, now's the time to dump. Now, of course, you have Walmart saying that growth might be slower, but I think people had kind of anticipated that to some certain extent, right? I mean, that could absolutely be driving this. You know, one of the things that's super interesting to see is your Chinese stocks are moving up. I mean, Baba is up 5.44% today. Okay, they've been absolutely crushing it. You only have 324 billion market cap. You have a PE of 29 on Baba. These are the ADRs, of course. You're looking at BY DDF, the BY. Is it right? Yeah, these are ADRs as well. I'm pretty sure. 3 points. No, that's not right. Give me a second. We'll look at that in a moment. I got to figure out what the ticker for that ADR is. And then, of course, I'm not sure how NIO is doing. This is one I kind of want to look at because it is so cheap as far as Chinese car companies are concerned. They're expanding. They're expanding into Europe. I mean, the cost of these cars themselves, even with Europe tagging on, I think it's like a 35% tariff, like these are still going to be like relatively cheap cars, right, for what they can sell for, especially when you're talking about BYD. Okay, you're going into the UK. I don't think the UK has, and they've definitely spoken about tariffing the EVs, but I don't think they necessarily have a reason to do that because they're not really developing EVs. You know, this is Chinese stocks being the safe haven today is kind of a funny thing, right? Let's take a look at what else we got going on as far as the general portfolio is considered. And Nebius, so this is off again 12.37% today. You've had a lot of buying back and forth. I'm still bullish on it. Everyone keeps saying the headline's worse than expected. Not really the case. They're kind of like right on line for what they've been trying to do. Again, I think you could kind of argue that Satya Nadella's comments on compute, you know, could be suppressing this a little bit. I mean, you're also getting TSSI in a major way to the downside, off 5.4. Okay, you're off 13.04%. You know, I mean, it's just a general down day in the market, and I don't know of anything that really occurred that would warrant this being a longer-term thing. And again, we have been saying this constantly, right? We said it in December. Okay, that's the end, guys. We're crashing right back down. You know, we said it. I mean, definitely here on the drop down on the 27th. I mean, this was the DeepSeek news. You get it again here. I mean, and again, you can't just look at the pattern and say, okay, we're going to be good to go from here on out. It's just going to do the same exact thing. But I'm not sure what has occurred, and I'm not sure anyone really knows what has occurred that's going to make this longer term, and now we're going to traverse back down. Of course, I've been joined by Tim Ord recently, and he's looking at a potential pullback, you know, around the 580, 585 level in the SPY. Of course, I don't always look at technicals that way, but that's why it's great to have him on, because he does. And, you know, if you want to watch that, you can absolutely go to our YouTube channel, Tiger Financial News Network. That was from yesterday. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we have going on. Let's take a look at SMCI. Of course, you know, you have options expiration, right? So, I mean, you can get wiggy movement to the downside on it. We're off 5.65% in SMCI. Again, you got to have lower volume right now. I mean, that really could just be what it is, you know. But I don't think that anything has occurred today that suggests, you know, we can move to the downside permanently, right? Anyways, folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Let's take a look right now at HIMS. This is this is kind of attractive, I think, okay? And we're going to talk about this. Okay, HIMS is off 23.52% today. Yeah, that needed to pull back just a little bit, right? And I'm still anticipating this to pull back a little bit more. You had a lot of hype surrounding them with the Super Bowl ad with semaglutide. Okay, first things first. They've been compounding semaglutide. We've spoken about this probably ad nauseum at this point. They've been compounding semaglutide. That's Novo Nordisk's GLP-1. They bought a compounding facility, so they run all that kind of stuff. There's fantastic margins with compounding. They do specialized plans, which is how people get access to semaglutide. They're able to compound because there was a shortage of the drug. And the way that this whole game works is when the FDA states that there is a drug shortage, compounders can move in and compound those drugs for people. So the FDA comes out today and they say, hey, it's no longer short. Okay, so the FDA has determined the shortage of semaglutide injection products is resolved. Okay, they've been in shortage since 2022. We said this you've had multiple scares with this, right? And the thing is reeled back entirely. Now, this is, of course, different because it actually is resolved this time. But I think people are not fully understanding the picture with HIMS here. And again, I'm not saying this because this valuation is correct, even, with semaglutide. I'm not necessarily sure that it is, but they are growing rapidly and they're constantly expanding vertically. But I think something important to know is that they can compound liraglutide, still on shortage, right? And this is really important. This is on FDA.gov. It says, so I'm going to read this whole thing. FDA confirmed with the drug's manufacturers that their stated product availability and manufacturing capacity can meet the present and projected national demand. Okay. Patients and prescribers may still see intermittent and limited localized supply disruptions as the products move through the supply chain from the current manufacturer and distributors to local pharmacies. Okay, to avoid unnecessary disruption to patient treatment, the agency does not intend to take action against compounders for violations of the FD&C Act arising from the conditions that depend on semaglutide injection products inclusion in the FDA's drug shortage list. Okay, so it says here, outsourced facilities under 503B of the FD&C Act, compounding, distributing, dispensing semaglutide injection products are essentially a copy of the FDA-approved drug product, the 90 calendar days from today's announcement until May 22, 2025. So we're able to push this kind of stuff out. And they say the FDA may still take action regarding violations of any other statutory or regulatory requirements, such as to address findings that a product may be of substandard quality or otherwise unsafe. There's no doubt in my mind that there are semaglutide compounders out there that are not doing it right. Obviously, there's no really optics on that with Hims, but their management has been so consistent and careful with the decisions that they're making that I would reckon it wouldn't be a problem. Now, that's of course a huge assumption. You never know, of course. But they have that kind of cloud of legitimacy, right? A lot of people trusting them. They are blowing up in their subscriber numbers. They're still gonna be able to sell a semaglutide at a way cheaper discount, or a way greater discount, excuse me. Additionally on that, semaglutide was not a massive portion. I mean, it definitely contributed, right? But it's not a massive portion of the revenue. And they just bought a peptide facility. These guys have consistently, I mean, this management team is unbelievable. They have consistently predicted what the next kind of trends were. That's really what this is. They're selling, these trends in health to people. And they've done it constantly. They've done very well at doing it. I mean, having the foresight to buy the compounding facility was amazing. And they're still gonna be able to kind of do this and reap some profits from it. They have unbelievable subscriber retention, massive amounts of subscribers, constantly marketing these people all the time. And if you're on Hims and you're worried about losing your hair, you're buying finasteride or minoxidil, or you're worried about whatever it might be, you're going to continue to use Hims. And really, these people are all kind of concerned about everything, right? I mean, that's just this kind of the cultural push right now. I mean, I can't tell you how many people my age and even younger who are worried about the male pattern baldness. I mean, it's like a deep problem I think people have, which is, unfortunate, I think, to a certain extent. But that is in the culture, and it is a total fear that people have. Tons of people on minoxidil, finasteride, obviously, drugs for more intimate things. A lot of people are taking those. And of course, GLP-1's massive. Now, him and hers has acquired a US-based peptide facility. This is, again, another thing. We have this weird, obsession with trying to, perfect or prevent, perfect the biology, prevent anything that would harm us. A lot of health-conscious people that are younger, and they're pumping themselves with insane kind of research chemicals. I mean, I told you guys in the past about one peptide facility that was selling a bunch of, this is like a dark, kind of thing. You had to pay via Venmo and stuff like that. So this is legitimizing all of that to some certain extent. I mean, we're talking about, drugs for the brain, personal health. You can buy, anything for exercise, working out, just to improve, quote unquote, improve quality of life. These are massive. I was also sharing with you that I know someone who's opened a peptide facility. It's a private one. They're bringing on GLP-1 drugs. I think liraglutide's the main one that they're bringing on. But he's done, extraordinarily well. And I think they only have 5 facilities. Now, spread out to Hims with their reach, with their economy of scale. I want to see what happens with Hims over the next few days, see if we, still moving to the downside and contracting volume. Then that would tell me, at least for me, this would be a good time for me to get into Hims. Because there's no doubt in my mind that this will rally back when people kind of realize, there's more to Hims. The semaglutide being removed from the shortage list is actually not that existentially threatening to Hims, but then they also have other things that they're doing that are, let me just look up what this, for the global peptide therapeutics market, right? It is 52.59 billion in 2025. That is massive. You have Grandview Research saying that it's 117.26 in 2024. That's estimated, that's global, of course. And I'm telling you, again, young people are on these things constantly. I'm not sure what Hims will provide, but I'm sure there'll be nootropics or, whatever it is, stuff for vasodilation. This is what everyone's interested in. This is the new trend, and Hims is perfectly situated. They've proven themselves competent time and time again. So anyways, long story short, I'm waiting for this to see if it moves down more on Monday. I do kind of expect a broader kind of reversal of today on Monday. Maybe we don't go back to all-time highs. I mean, really what I think we do this year is stay more or less kind of, consolidated within a certain trading range, but it'll be very wide, right? So I I don't think we're going to have these double-digit growths this year. I think there's a lot of stuff that is kind of going against America right now, at least economically speaking. But even if you stay kind of sideways to the upside, I do believe this will be a very volatile market, right? That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. But we'll see him as if it continues to go down on contracting volume. I'm definitely getting into him. So folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are February 14th and 28th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I just, these days are always so, like getting, developing on, the trading journey and stuff like that. You just look at your portfolio and you're like, oh my, I wanted to have a good weekend. It's all right. It's going to be good. One last thing I wanted to say about HIMS, I'm going to wrap it up. It's going to be very fast. You have like UNH, things with like Medicare. They're slicing all these kind of programs here. Massive dip to the downside. Probably on some fears with Medicare and Medicaid. And, HIMS doesn't accept any of that, by the way. So if there's any kind of, sell-off because HIMS, people think that HIMS is going to get affected by this, it's not. It's not. They don't accept it. So, anyways, that's what we got working right now. What do I want to look at? Man, what a crazy day, huh? Hooters files for bankruptcy. I was literally just talking about that the other day, too. Yeah, I'm surprised that place has stayed open. I don't know anyone who's gone on it. Rivian is toast, at least right now. You're off about 4.08% today. I still don't like it. Their variable costs are decreasing, but I think they need an unbelievable amount of capital to stay afloat and actually become like the company they need to be. And I'm not familiar, maybe like Boeing or something like that, of a company that needed so many funds just to even get close to being profitable, It looks like their $6 billion might be in some kind of jeopardy. We'll see what happens with that. But let's see, they reported a gross profit of $170 million in the fourth quarter, primarily driven by improvements in variable costs, revenue per delivered unit, and fixed cost. So the quarter we achieved positive gross profit and removed 31,000 automated cost of goods sold, which is, don't get me wrong, that is very impressive. And that is a movement to the positive, right? We'll just see if that can be sustained. And I don't, personally right now, even looking at all of that, and I was so bullish on Rivian, because they were getting, just a bunch of money from the government to build this stuff out. And it seemed like that was going to continue, right? Then I got less bullish, of course, with the OS comment and then Trump winning. And I still think they're in a tough spot. As I said, this quarter we achieved positive gross profit, removed 31,000 automotive cost of goods sold, delivered in Q4 2024 relative to 23. Because our focus on cost efficiency across the busyness is critical for the launch of our mass market product, the R2. The R2 bill of materials is approximately 95% sourced and is expected to be approximately half that of the improved R1 bill of materials. Okay, that's pretty cool. They see 2025 full year adjusted EBITDA loss of in a range of 1.7 billion to 1.9 billion, with the vehicle deliveries between 46,000 and 51,000. The CFO said the company expects only 8,000 deliveries in Q1 and 14,000 units to be produced. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think it's just kind of right now the EV market is kind of unattractive, and I really don't think anyone knows what Trump's going to do. You can be sure that he's definitely not going to fund a ton of EV developments, So, that's kind of my way of looking at it. Maybe it is, it will be a good play, regardless, but I think there are other things to look at that are probably a little bit of a safer bet. Let's move on, I guess, a little bit to some of these guys, okay? Rare earth materials. I think that stuff's going to really ramp up. I think China is poised in such a way to really start competing with us in a serious way. Rare earths are going to be, that's going to be a central point of contention geopolitically. Of course, China wants to seize Taiwan, not just for ideological and nationalistic reasons, which I do believe that is a massive point of them wanting Taiwan back. But additionally as well, you get complete control over that body of water. There's tons of rare earth materials in that. And they're sure as heck not going to give us any. And so we need to start kind of building out that infrastructure. You're looking at MP Materials right now. They have massive, kind of exposure to that. I think they are one of the largest, if not the largest, miners here. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, the only rare earth mine and processor in the United States, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to be giving a closer look to that over the weekend. And then you have ARNF, it's American Rare Earths as well. They have a mine that's kind of cooking, that's Halleck Creek. So, These are some things to look at. This is super obviously risk there, but MP is probably a little bit of a better one to put in. And we're gonna need that. We're gonna need those things. I mean, if we don't produce, this is the whole point of Greenland, right? And the whole point of trying to seize Greenland is really twofold. Okay, one, they have tons of minerals there, right? And it's pretty much virgin land for the most part. Obviously, there is some kind of extraction going on, but there's tons of Greenland that has not even been penetrated into. And then, of course, the Northwest Passage thawing, right? In the future, the Arctic Circle will be probably the most dominant route of commerce, especially if you continue to get Arctic ice caps melting, those kind of passages free up. And, if you're a Stan Rogers fan, you know how many people died trying to find the Northwest Passage. If you're not familiar with that, you should YouTube that song. It's fantastic. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing, Way easier just going over the top of the globe to get to Europe, to get to Russia, to get to Asia. And whoever controls those corridors will win probably the rest of the 21st century. So anyways, MP is very interesting. I'm going to do some more research on that. We can talk about it a little bit more Monday. But it is kind of appealing to me because I do think this will be very dominant. And who else is going to get us rare earth? It's just not going to happen at all. Let's talk a little bit about. Oh yeah, let me even add some more to this with Zelensky, right? I mean, this whole angle that Trump's trying to do, essentially he's trying to get Zelensky out, without a doubt. One of the things we do as a country is we fund different countries or fund different governments within countries, and we're not just giving the money to people, right? And I see that, I think that's a misconception a lot of people have. When you see $1 billion in aid to whatever entity that might be, we're not just doing that because, on ideological principles. We're doing that because we're going to get something out of it. It's what the Romans did, it's what the English did, what the Mongols did. It's just what large kind of imperial-esque powers do. And so, it was the same concept within Afghanistan. Afghanistan has about 1.3 trillion in minerals below it. Ukraine, I don't know what meteor hit that hundreds of thousands of years ago, but they have a ton as well. And it seems that Zelensky is going to sign a minerals deal very soon. And we go in with our banks and we financialize that whole thing and we fund the build out. That's how we do business on a global scale. And that's going to help us significantly. So folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. Watch the Tom O'Brien Show. A little bit further talk with MP. Yeah, they are the only rare earth miner. I was kind of hoping they were gonna. There's one that's interesting, and it seems like they are gonna continue to try to push at least, you know, from Microsoft's perspective and probably IonQ's perspective, the quantum a little bit. It is interesting. I know, if I remember correctly, IonQ uses ytterbium ions to do it. And I was wondering if, you know, so let's just say they do push this, and IonQ's process seems to be one of the better ones. You know, whoever can produce, you know, that mineral would be in a good spot. It seems like they don't produce it, unfortunately. MP Materials, what is they have? Neodymium, which is huge. Lanthanum, what else is like important here? Yeah, gadolinium. So really, the neodymium is huge, right? That'll be used in like motors. It's used in like phones and stuff like that. It's used in absolutely everything. You know, these are really important minerals. So, you know, that's something I want to really look into. Of course, you have a negative PE here, your market cap of 3.9. It seems like they just started trying to redo or like restart a lot of these mines in February of 2023. So, you know, it takes a while to get these kind of back on. Unfortunately, I didn't have a ton of time today to do deep dives like I like to do. I'll try to do that this weekend. We go over that with MP. We'll look at their financials, look like where they're at, what they're extracting, and if they have any, you know, serious competitors, given, you know, potential conditions with Donald Trump. So yeah, I mean, it's really neat. They have revenue jump of 48%. They just released quarterlies, which was awesome. Key developments include commencing commercial products of NdPr, that's neodymium, and I think praseodymium, if I remember correctly. Beginning of trial production of automotive-grade magnets, securing the NdPr supply agreements, major automakers, the Department of Defense. Company received $100 million in customer prepayments and $58 million tax credit. However, yeah, you had some, full year revenue decreased in 20%. But you know, again, the demand for these materials is going to skyrocket. I mean, obviously China understands that. They're trying to secure all those things. We're going to need to do that. MP is at the heart of that. You know, another thing that I think is interesting to note, if you're into the rare earth, is no, this is not what we're going to look up. Shame on you, UEC. Energy Fuels, Quad U, that is off 4.83%. Obviously, everyone looks at like the uranium play, and that's true, that is there. But if you're into getting exposure to, you know, rare earth materials, they have a massive amount of vanadium, which is really interesting. So, you know, check that out. That could be a potential play if you want some vanadium exposure. But yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. What else did I want to look at today? Man, we really talked about the mining, talked about China, talked about all the talked about all the positions that I'm in that are to the downside, but that's okay. Again, I think we're going to come back off that. One, I do think getting into some of the compute right now is going to be a little shaky. I still like Nebius a lot. Quartz is really impressive. You know, is core scientific. You're off 7.98% today. These guys are doing massive compute rent and stuff. I think this is really just kind of a weak, market for it. Looking at Oklo, oh man, let's see. Oh man, how nice would have been to have that short. It was in 38. Yeah, look at that. Dang. I'm still short on this going into earnings, without a doubt. Man, off 10% today. These guys are going to get smoked in earnings in a major way. They don't have anything right now. And again, still bullish on some of these SMRs and uranium, but that's on a longer term. If you want to do these things short term, one, I would never buy at like insane all-time highs of 59.14. We eroded like a lot of the market cap to the downside here, which is pretty intense. Yeah, I mean, right now, like, what is the move? Like, I think legitimately just waiting to see how this pivots back on Monday. I mean, I do think there is going to be a reversal unless any kind of insane news comes out, but I don't think that's probably going to be the case. Looking at European arms manufacturers, you're continuing to have Rheinmetall go up. You know what? We can talk about, because we're talking about cores, right? These guys were initially doing, if I recall correctly, these Bitcoin mines. So, coin getting smooth. This is what's scary about right now with crypto, right? I mean, this is brutal. Just constant movement to the downside. You're at 300 before earnings. Leap up on earnings like that, and then just get totally denied. So, I think the fear of liquidity still exists. Illiquidity still exists. Crypto is definitely going to get hit by that. It is not preservation of anything in that kind of environment. Of course, we've been talking about that it really is just a risk asset supplementary. You have phenomenal news today, okay, that Coinbase and SEC's kind of enforcement case, right? They agree to end that against Coinbase, which, and there's probably going to be less regulation on this going forward with this current administration. And the fact that you're still getting smacked to the downside is unreal for this, okay? You have some worse news, okay, with Bybit. But the way that I look at this is that people wanting to buy crypto is not going to go away. Bybit, if you're not familiar, has got hacked for over $1.4 billion in Ethereum. That happened like a few hours ago. Actually insane. The way they were doing it was weird. They had some malicious kind of code in the mask, and it messed with how it presented basically on the blockchain, which is obviously horrible. You have Ben Zhao. He said, hey, listen, everything else is normal. That's fine. With something like Bybit, getting hacked and these smaller crypto exchanges getting hacked, it would almost, I don't know how people look at it, right? Is it that they say, okay, actually, I don't know what's going on here. I'm done with crypto. Or is it, I need to find a more established exchange, which is going to be something like Coinbase for sure, right? And them getting rid of that SEC kind of hound should be a massive positive for them. This is doing significantly worse than the rest of the market on this. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate for Coinbase. And now you're trading at an okay PE of 24. You're still at 49 billion. But I think this market needs to not be afraid of illiquidity in order for crypto to even begin to go up. Ethereum plummeted after that whole thing. Let's see where Bitcoin's at. You're at 95,243. You're off 3.15% today. Why hold on to cryptocurrency when everyone's concerned about, concerned about war, concerned about viruses, concerned about, just what have you? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, especially with tariffs, And we saw this thing isn't immune to tariffs. It's even worse, right? Because people want their cash. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, to be honest. This whole thing's really... And like I said, I mean, you just kind of have to hold, right? To kind of see what happens on it. Micro Algo, that's another one that's blown up today. MLGO, I think this is a total Chinese pump and dump. Total Chinese pump and dump. Their internet, their website is scary. They don't even spell the thing right. And I know that's not typo squatting. So folks, stay right there, we'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup, watch the Tom O'Brien Show. We just have a short segment left in the day. I thought I would talk a little bit about what's going on with Apple right now in the UK. This has more to do with just, kind of like updating on some cybersecurity stuff when it comes around, or just general data security. You remember when we were talking about the Chinese being in all of our telecom networks and stuff like that? And the way that they're able to access some devices. Now, of course, in the telecom, it's the encrypted message is fine, right? If you're an Apple user texting an Apple user, you're fine. Same with Android to Android. Cross-platform is a little bit vulnerable, but you still get some. You've seen now some Mac OS compromise in the past few years, right? And that is because of governments pressuring these companies to put in backdoors, basically, right? And they do that so they can, I don't know, whatever it might be. They have some criminal they want to look at, or some supposed criminal. They'll be able to do that. Of course, this was massive with San Bernardino, the San Bernardino shooting back, I believe it was 2017. And the feds wanted Apple to basically crack open the phone. And Apple said they were not going to do that. And let's be real, right? I mean, you could take your iPhone or any iPhone right now to some iPhone shop, repair shop, and there's a chance that those guys are going to have something where they can crack open the iPhone. Okay, like that is something that occurs, and there's no doubt that the feds have access to stuff like that. What I think they really wanted was just a way to get into that iPhone without actually having it, right? And that causes a lot of problems when you put backdoors like that into software. It's a backdoor for everyone. It's not just for the feds. So Apple removes an advanced data protection tool because the UK government requested them to do so. And I promise you, we are going to see an exploit of this in the near future, no doubt. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We will see you Monday for Tommy O'Brien Show Morning Market Kickoff. Take care.